Hey, what's up, guys? And thank you for tuning back in. Today's episode is with Viva Padilla. She is the founding editor of Dryland, which is an independent literary journal that's dedicated to publishing poetry from the local LA literary underground scene. With that being said, today's music is by Monogram with their song Gouki. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Otherwise, please correct me. What else can I say? These guys have been around for the last couple of years, and they have never disappointed. So make sure to stick around at the end of the episode for the full song. Upcoming is a little preview. And as always, make sure you support them on Bandcamp, Spotify, YouTube, all those good places. Without much further ado, I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did, and we'll see you next time. Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the Social Private Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning back in. What's up? It's been 2 weeks since the last episode, and we're back. We're back with another back-to-back episode today. It's the first one, the more important one. Nah, I'm kidding. The other guest is as important.
Oh, man, he's hyping me up already. Yeah, I'm scared.
We have, what is it? No, don't tell me.
Wait, okay, go ahead.
I'll give a little bit of background.
Okay.
I've had the chance to talk to Anna here before. To Anna, probably 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, like around, right? Yeah, I think that's when
you guys kind of disappeared, and then I never heard anything.
Yeah.
And then you went into my DMs, and you were like, "Hey, come to my studio."
Go to the garage.
We didn't say it like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're kidding, people. We're kidding.
But yeah, I mean, I'm here, I'm back, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that you continued.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's cool again because we talked to you, whatever amount of years ago it was, and you were doing Dryland.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into that, again, we have Ana Ureña, but now known as
Viva Padilla.
Viva Padilla.
Yeah, I changed my name
Legally?
Well, not legally, but I just kind of went in another direction with my writer name, just because I felt like my name, my Ana Ureña name had too much baggage. So I was I'm gonna let it
change
go.
It up.
Yeah, Padilla is my grandma's maiden name. So.
Okay, so it goes way back.
Yeah, it goes way back. She was kind of a writer, kind of.
Okay.
She never really fulfilled her dreams, but it's like my way of a tribute to her.
Yeah.
So.
Ah, nice. Okay. So getting into what you do, you are the founding editor of Dryland.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what Dryland is.
Okay. Well, to keep it short and simple, it's basically a literary journal based in South Central LA. And if you know that area, if you're from LA, you know that there isn't much like that. I mean, in the community,
right.
There isn't really much art, music, there isn't much support for it. So I decided to create something where I can discover voices that would probably never be heard if they were not being published in the journal that I'm doing. So I accept poetry. I publish poetry, fiction, nonfiction, interviews, art, and yeah. So far, I've been doing it for 4 years, and right now it's at its I don't know. Everything's going well, I guess. And
which is always good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't expect it to get as much support and love as it's getting right now, and I really appreciate it. I mean, it's paying off, definitely.
Yeah, I think again, you were kind of just not necessarily starting, but I think you were on issue 3 or 4.
When we first did an interview years ago?
Yeah, I think right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think I was like was I barely going into print? I don't remember if I was still on the internet.
Oh, you were still on the internet? That's right.
When you were interviewing me, yeah. And then I went into print and you interviewed me again.
Yeah, because I remember holding the physical book like after maybe like close to the second interview.
And I think you had an ad in there too.
Yeah.
Was it in the one of them?
It was on the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow,
that was a cool book.
I
still have it, yeah. I mean, obviously.
That was like 3 years ago for sure.
Yeah, so there you go. So since then, what issue are you at right now?
I'm on issue 9, which is about to come out. It's supposed to come out like tomorrow, but I'm like not done with it.
Yeah.
I need to probably finish that tonight.
Like the digital version first, and then you're gonna work on the print one?
No. What I do is I do like a big, PDF, and I just print that out, and then I digitize it after. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. So, I mean, with that being said, so, you said Dryland was kind of like how do I say it? I have a good word for it. I'm trying to look for it here. But I would say like a reaction to the lack of action that the community has to what, people, the communities of color.
Yeah.
Because like, again, you say there's a lot of places that don't carry that, and you know where to go to find these places, who to talk to that has those same experiences or passions.
It's just like hard to have a space. Like it's hard to rent out like a place to hold art and cultural events. I mean, that like it's hard to like have a spot and run it and all that, and especially with like rent being so high, it's like almost impossible to start your own little things in your community. So for me, I was like, well, I can't really have a physical space, but I mean, I can still have a physical space through the book, even if I don't have like an office. I don't have like like a cultural center. Yeah, like I don't have anything like that. But I mean, I feel like it's just as important to like I think like I'm not limited because of the book. Like I'm not limited to just having a physical location. I can basically take the book anywhere and just like have any poet from anywhere submit. It doesn't have to be limited to my community. So
like from your experience, like what was your initial idea as to why this started? Like, I'm sure you had some sort of experience that, lit that idea in your head that said, hey, you know what? Like, there needs to be a movement.
Well, I didn't think about it that big, but I mean, I guess it is something pretty important. But when I was in high school, I would read a lot of poetry and read a lot of books and stuff. And I would read literary journals because a lot of my heroes were published there first. So like Bukowski, he was like the hero of literary journals. And, when I would read literary journals, I would read a lot of stuff that was written by well-educated, really highly educated white people. And I couldn't understand like what they were writing about. Like to me, I just couldn't connect to their work. And I used to think that I was too dumb to like understand, and I wasn't like literary enough, or I wasn't a real writer because I didn't understand what they were talking about, or because not even that, but like I couldn't connect with it because they were I felt like now I understand that they were just so far removed from like trying to connect with the general audience. And they were just trying to kind of like, there's like this air of like trying to show off like what they can do with words, and they don't care about like what they're saying, and so I was like, man, I give a fuck about like what I say, and like I want to know what other people say, and I want to hear what other people think, and I want to know like the real shit, like what do people really feel, what are people really going through in this time.
Like I
these
get
hard times, post 9/11 and Trump and all this shit, like I really want to know what's going on in people's heads, and I don't want it to be all just like whitewashed or like super abstract that you don't understand anything and no one understands, but everybody's clapping their fingers like if it makes sense, and everybody's patting themselves on the back and giving themselves awards, and I don't care about anything like that. I'm advocating for like the writer and the reader, for them to connect
Yeah.
So that's important to me, and I've kind of been slowly developing my mission, and it's come a long way. I'm really proud of it. So
yeah, no, that's good, because I think it's definitely time for those including myself, because I'm a person of color. It's time to start changing the narrative into what it is to be us, and how we're perceived by what society thinks we are.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool, which is why originally, when I first interviewed the first time, why I thought it was really cool, because again, there's not a lot of outlets for people to do that.
Yeah.
And I think once I got one of the issue 3 or 4 of your book, it was, seeing the physical book, and everything, and just reading, the words that people have in there, you can definitely see how those words carry a lot more weight, and there's a lot more things to relate to, because those are coming from places with real, not energy, but real, how do you say it?
I think like what you mean is like a real need.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are writing from a place that like where they feel like they really need to express themselves.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a choice but to like express themselves. Mm-hmm. They're not just like writing because, oh, my professor told me I have to come up with like a fucking thesis statement or like a chapbook, or like I have to come up with this thing for this deadline. These are people that are like, no one's telling them to write. Yeah. No one's, saying, hey, if you don't write, you're not going to get your diploma or your degree. These are people that are like, I mean, think about it. Yeah. They're just, something urges them to write, and they decide to just let that out and share it. And, that's like raw,
So, I mean, you having to go through all these poems to kind of not rate them necessarily, but you come across a lot of different types of sentiments in regards to different topics, right? Yeah. How does that like, do you feel like you come to an understanding of, are you able to like understand more where people are coming from when you
what's crazy is that like, I feel like I'm kind of like a historian, because people submit, in the beginning, people would submit so much. Like I would get like 200 plus submissions, and it was insane because I was doing most of the reading. I didn't really get much help. And there were like a lot of people, I mean, because in the beginning, my journal wasn't as well developed as it is now. So people didn't know what I wanted. But so I was receiving like a lot of random stuff.
Yeah.
And I got to see like a lot of people, similar themes started emerging.
Yeah.
And there were like a lot of disturbing things. And then there were a lot of things that were just showing me where the literary world, like the literati, is at, and I've kind of learned like, the way I really rate poems or like things that people submit is basically all just my gut. Like it's just intuition. I'm not like, ooh, this is like a really cool theme. It's about serial killers. Oh my God, I want to publish something like this. Because I've received like things about serial killers and people about like really obsessed with killing and stuff, and that's really disturbing to me. But I could see other literary journals publishing it just because it's like, oh my God, it's so edgy. Yeah, it's edgy. But to me, I'm just like, no, if I don't feel something, it's not gonna get published. So I have to like feel something. Like it has to make me feel something. It can make me feel, sad, happy, angry, the whole spectrum. It can be anywhere on the spectrum, but I have to like connect with it somehow, So.
And are a lot of the people that submit these, what we consider poetry?
Most of it is poetry and fiction that are submitted.
So for those people who do submit, they tend to be like first timers, or sometimes they don't have like experience type of thing?
It's gotten to the point where I'm getting like bigger names. So right now I have like big names, small names, emerging names. So I have a lot of first timers in this issue, and I have like a handful of people that are really well known, and which I'm really happy about, because that means that like I'm doing something right and they like it,
Yeah, right. It's like a sense of a little bit of recognition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just kind of feel like if they're down, like cool, awesome. I just kind of want to make it so that everyone feels welcome. Okay.
So like with relating to it, which I just asked, So since you started this, what, 2015 toward 2019, so in 4 years, have you seen, like, I'm sure, you probably can't really see it now, but like in retrospect, do you feel like the culture has changed based on what people talk about in that time frame? Like,
you know what? Nowadays, I've been getting a lot more like chingona poems, like women who are just speaking their mind about, like
empowerment.
Yeah, way more poems about empowerment than before. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah. That's definitely a big one. But I think that I get a lot of that because of the Me Too movement, and also because of like, there's a lot of there's now like Jessica Salgado. She's like a really well-known POC poet, and there's like more POC poets that are pretty well known in the area. So like, I guess it's like empowering other mujeres to like submit, and then I also the cover artist is a really well loved chingona painter, Emilia Cruz, and once I put out like an image of her work for the call for submissions.
This one here, right?
Yeah. When I put that one out, that one just whoo, that made all the the young mujeres submit their work, which is great. A lot of mujeres wrote to me saying like, oh my God, I love Emilia Cruz, and I would love to be in this issue because of her, and Damn, that's pretty sick. Yeah, that's what I asked, because I would think that since you're basically cementing these issues, throughout the last 4 years or so, I'm sure that way if you read them, back to back, you will see some sense of how things are changing or what's more important in that time frame as you go on, Yeah, I mean, I think the longer I do this, the more that will, be clear to me. But I'm still pretty new. I'm still learning, and I'm still seeing everything. And I mean, this thing is kind of developing on its own, so I'm sure next issue is going to be completely different. It won't be a chingona issue, you know. But I'm happy to say that this issue is going to be a chingona issue. Like I was looking at the table of contents today. It's like 3 pages long, the table of contents, and the first page is like, oh, mujeres. That's never happened. I mean, I think there was like 1 or 2 dudes in there, and I was like, man, maybe I should just put this all mujeres. Yeah. But I was like, nah, just don't make it too obvious, like don't try too hard. Yeah. So, but I noticed, a big amount of mujeres, and, mainly all POC. I mean, I think there's couple of white people in there, but they're cool. So they wrote some good stuff. Nothing about serial killers. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody will hear that and be like, man, what the fuck? Fuck that.
Dude, I've had hate mail.
Oh yeah,
from white people.
Yeah, for real?
It's hilarious. I've thought about like framing it, like, and putting it in my future office. Just so people could know that I'm legit, that I made it. That I'm real.
I mean, what did they say? If you don't mind?
There was one
that stuck out.
One that stands out of my mind was like this dude who was so mad that I had sent him a rejection. Yeah. Because I don't even know what he wrote, but obviously, like, that shit just kind of like didn't really stand out. But he wrote me back. He had the nerve to like write me back and like give me a piece of his mind, because it was so important for him to like let it out. Yeah. So he was like, oh my God, you're running an exclusive club. You're not accepting white people. You're running an exclusive club. And I was like, I don't even know if I bothered writing back, but if I did, I'm pretty sure I told him that the literary institution of the United States of America is like over 100 years old and has been run by white people since day one. So if he needs to submit anywhere, there's like thousands of places
where he can submit it. Yeah.
I mean, there's like thousands. My journal is like this little tiny little, star in a vast, universe of journals. So I was just like, dude, come on. But it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It made me feel warm inside. I was just like, damn, if white people are getting pissed off at this, this means like that it's important.
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, it's also important to take control of those narratives because, again, for that amount of time, those narratives for, people of color have been controlled by it.
Yeah, exactly.
What they want.
Yeah, whatever they want to publish. Yeah. Like, oh, this is too Mexican. Nope, it's not going in. This is too much Spanish. And
exactly.
But I publish everything. I mean, like, if you write a poem that's all in Spanish, you're going to be in there. And I'm not going to be like, I don't even provide a translation.
Oh, okay,
You
cool,
know, if you can't read it, fuck it. Get somebody to read it to you and translate it for you. Figure it out. But I'm not gonna be like catering to white people in the journal. You know.
Hey,
I don't provide definitions. I'm not like, and I don't italicize any Spanish words. You know how like sometimes you read something and it's like italicized because it's foreign. No, I just let you, you know, read through it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how. So again, you know, you have those type of restrictions in the writings, and it's like it kind of takes you out of that moment, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and once you kind of understand it, or even it gives you the incentive to try to find out what the hell you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
and you know,
come on, white people have forced us to understand their garbage. Yeah. They can go ahead and like try to figure out what we're talking about.
I think there was like some backlash a few months ago with some what's his name? Something Peele. He directed some Jordan Peele. Yeah, they said that he wouldn't. I don't think he wants to cast the movie with a white actor or something.
I think
like
they asked him like, why don't you have like a lead white guy, or like, you know, have a white guy be the lead? And he was like, I don't want to. I just don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, that's his choice. You know,
and
people
why
were
does
like,
he have to explain himself?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. You know, again, you know, they expect explanations for why. You know.
I think it's because like white people want to be invited to every party. You know, they just can't let it go. Like, okay, well, you know, maybe we should just let them do their thing. You know, they have to be like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, why can't we go?
Muscles,
like taking notes and shit. They're in there trying to take notes.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely get why, you know, they're trying to embrace the cultures too, but I think there's a difference between embracing them and, you know, using them
trying
for
to
your
take
own.
It over. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, there were some Tom's like huaraches. I don't know if you saw it. Let me pull that up real quick just because I'm a little curious. Tom's
huaraches, really?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, here
I know Tom's, but I didn't know they did huaraches.
Yeah, they sell them for like $80. Watch, $90 for 10 Tom's men's huaraches.
And who came up with this?
Tom's.
Shit, Tom.
Yeah, I can't even. Why isn't that over?
Do they have the same deal where if you buy a pair of shoes, they send a pair of shoes overseas?
Oh, I don't know, maybe, but still, who wants some $80 huaraches?
Those are so dumb.
It's like, what the
Just
fuck?
get some real huaraches.
Yeah, you know, exactly. It's from somebody who actually, you know, took the time to make them.
Yeah, go to Boyle Heights or, you know.
Yeah, you know, like you'll find the
LA.
Exactly. But I don't see. Anyways, but that's what I'm trying to get to. Here.
Yeah,
and so
it's true.
Yeah, you know, when Jordan Peele gave that answer, people were just flipping out like, oh, isn't that considered racist? I don't know why. It's like,
that doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's because like people don't understand like power dynamics. It's like you can't really be racist if you don't really have control over that institution, you know. And like the film industry hasn't been controlled by black people. It's been controlled by rich white people. Yeah. So for a black dude to do whatever the fuck he wants, I mean, that's his right.
Yeah. So he clearly says, I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead.
I love that answer.
Yeah, you know, and again, you know, there was a long time when I was growing up and I watched a bunch of movies, obviously, and then one day I was probably like in middle school, and I thought like, these are all white guys, like they're just all white guys, and I didn't think to question that, you know, there was that power dynamic at that point because I didn't really understand it.
That's how we are when we're young. We don't get it.
Yes, we're just oblivious and we're accepting of what's going on, you know, for a moment. But, you know, I thought about it. I was like, why isn't there more, like, you know, Latinos and Mexicans or, you know, Hispanos, whatever you want to call. You know, it's more like, you know, what the fuck? It's a mosquito. Jesus Christ. I had a spider bite me yesterday.
They're attracted to you.
Right, so that
your
was a
deodorant, maybe.
Oh, shit. It's Old Spice.
I love Old Spice. It smells good.
Oh, yeah. I like those commercials with that big buff black guy. And he's like, try Old Spice. He's like, he sells me.
Oh, yeah.
Jewish people.
Terry Crews.
Oh, I think it's some other guy now. Yeah, but Terry Crews is one of them. But yeah, point is going back to this thing.
Old Spice duties.
You know, for a moment I always wondered.
He's doing like different commercials now. I think.
Who?
Like,
Terry Crews?
Is that the guy?
It's like Spice guy?
Yeah.
He's doing a Hulu commercial now as Old Spice guy.
Yeah, he's like, I know you guys know me from Old Spice, but I'm trying to sell you Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu.
It's so stupid. Advertising is so weird nowadays. I mean, they don't even they pretend like they're not trying to sell you anything. It's funny.
Oh yeah. Well, talking about ads, I'll pull up one that was fucking perfect. Like I'm not gonna buy a mattress anytime soon, but that one. I mean,
it makes you want to buy a mattress.
It wants me to buy a mattress. Yeah,
it wants you to buy a mattress.
It makes me want to buy a mattress. But yeah, point is, the whole thing coming quickly back is, there was no people to look up to in that sense, you know, in the different arts, you know, in poems. I remember just reading, what's his fucking name? He's everybody, Robert Frost or something.
Oh yeah, Robert.
Everybody
Frost,
knows that guy.
Walt Whitman.
Yeah, you know, again, there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
but the fact that they were just the ones that we studied in school and, you know, just pushed on us didn't really give you the opportunity to kind of either try to execute it yourself because you didn't see a role model in that area, or, you know, it was something that was kind of like,
yeah,
you know,
and also it's not
reach.
really like our history either. I mean, like we weren't. Well, me personally speaking, I didn't have family living in the United States of America in like the 1800s.
Right.
My family didn't get here until like the mid, you know, like the 1950s. So for me, it was like where's my family? You know, like how do I fit into this whole picture? So.
Do you feel like I recently had like this sense of, I think we all probably go through this, but I've had this sense of trying to like reconnect to my roots. Yeah. I would say, you know, I don't know anything about really where my parents come from or
where are they from, Mexico or what?
Yeah, they're from Cuautla, Morelos. That's as far as I know. But I don't know about my grandma or my grandma's grandma. And I feel like at this point, like I kind of want to find out, but I think that's the interest that I have. That's kind of kickstarted in trying to like pursue what's in the community.
In this. It's empty.
We gotta get a refill. Sweet.
I thought he was gonna bring the torch over. Oh. I was waiting for that. I know.
23.
Huh?
23.
Oh, the Ancestry website.
Oh, yeah, right. I've yet to try it, but I'm kind of
I need to do that too because like my grandparents died. I mean, my great grandparents weren't. They weren't alive when I was growing up, and I only have one grandma left. Oh. Everybody else is gone.
Where year is she from?
I think she's already like 97.
Damn. So she's from like 1930s, 30s?
20. Yeah, right. Yeah.
When was the whole Emiliano Zapata stuff? Like the 20s?
Yeah, early on. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so my grandma, she's getting there, but I think about that too. I'm like, damn, I want to know more, like who married who, what were their names, you know, where did they live, what did they do.
Because I mean, if you really think about it, 90 years, it's not that long. It's just a lifetime. It's just one person's lifetime away, and how times were way fucking different.
Dude, times fly, dude. Like I think Joy Division's, what was it, like 50th anniversary just
recently,
passed? It was 40th anniversary, but still 40 years fucking like. I remember when I was a kid, music that was like 40 years old, 50 years old was like the oldies.
Yeah, like the oldies,
like real oldies. And now it's like that's kind of becoming an old.
Yeah, I mean, compared to us, it's like that's not even that long ago. Yeah, like I asked somebody recently, it's probably like 22, some kid and stuff, and I was like, hey, have you heard of, let me ask him, I think it was the Strokes. I'm sure we've all kind of heard the Strokes here. Maybe Dre?
No, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the guy was like, who? I was like, dude, the Strokes, man.
Who said that? A young kid?
Yeah, he was like 22 or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's okay. He doesn't have to listen to the Strokes. That's fine.
What?
Just the first album.
The first album. Yeah, the first album's really good.
Know about them.
Everything after that.
Yeah.
Debate me. But with that being said, again, like I think you know, it's cool to have those type of platforms. You know, I think we need more of them. And you know, if whoever's out there thinking of creating something, or at least, you know, pursuing writing or something, I think it's important for them to kind of keep going, you know, and even if they don't, let's say, fall across Dryland, they can, you know, still pursue other means of trying to get those expressions out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the only place that's publishing people, POC people, and you know, you can always create your own thing. Like I'm always advocating for that. Like if I don't publish your stuff, it doesn't mean that there's nobody that will read your stuff. I recently was on this panel, my first panel at the Pasadena Lit Fest, and I was on a panel with some other literary journals that were from MFA programs from different universities, and somebody was like, oh, what if I write something that's like really pornographic or really like gory, and they were like, would you accept it? And I was like, well, I mean, it could be well written and it could be like interesting, but if it's like too pornographic or to this or to that. Like I probably won't publish it because like that's not what I'm trying to publish, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't publish it. It just means that maybe you should publish it yourself and share it with people that you think will like it.
Right.
So I'm always advocating for people to like go ahead and do some DIY stuff and share, and like don't let the literary institutions, you know, stop you from like fulfilling your dreams. And you know that should never be like, you know, a limitation that you put on yourself,
especially nowadays.
I mean, the reason that why I put out books is because of the internet.
Yeah, right. You know, it was completely accessible. You know, and you know, people are gonna have that conversation for years. Like, hey, look, you can do whatever the fuck you want
because of the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I tell people that I'm like, I put out books because of the internet. Like I just send it to this website and they print it out for me, and that's it. You know, like there's no secret to it, and there's so much more freedom now. Like you can publish a book with your friends. You can, you know, put out your own books. You can do whatever you want. Like it's really just up to you. You know,
it's just it's just all with the work that you put in. Like,
like if you can make a zine, you can make a book. I mean, it's just like takes a little more time, but I mean, it's more involved too. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, and it's so much fun.
I'm pretty sure you learned a lot of the stuff along the way.
Yeah, everything I learned, I just did it. I learned in the like by doing it. Yeah, most of the things that
No, that's cool.
I mean, I've had to because I've had to learn how to put together a website, put together the book, you know, interview people, do this, so that. I had to learn how to do everything. I'm at the point basically where I don't need to be editor-in-chief. I would love to find a new person to do it and have a whole staff. I want to do that. Like I want to train some younger folks to, you know, learn to design books and learn how to read poetry and, you know, just learn how to edit and, you know, just do the whole thing with a staff. I think that would be really fucking dope.
So at this point, you still have final say in what goes in the book.
Yeah, I'm always going to have final say to the end of time. No, I mean, until, you know, I retire. Yeah. I hope to do this until like I die. So. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I've already made up my mind. I mean, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I'm obsessed with it, you know. So I love it so much. It's never boring. Like reading stuff is never boring. So
yeah, you know, a lot of people were like, man, fuck that.
Because like the poetry that I publish is not like, and the grass was green and I was sad and blah blah blah. It's not like this long-winded, you know. Empty prose or poetry. It's like I feel like everything that I try to put out is trying to tell you something, like something like that. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
That just carries some sort of like weight, I guess. A message.
It's not just like bullshitting you. It's like trying to.
No, that makes sense because a lot of the stuff is just fluff. It's just fluff, and I think like a lot of. I think I brought this up in one of probably the last couple of episodes, was like in regards to music, that they don't have a lot of pop music or stuff that you hear on the radio doesn't have. It sounds cool, but there's no substance to it.
Like trap music. I mean, it has a cool like little beat and stuff, and that's cool. But then like the lyrics, like I try to follow along, and I just feel stupider by the end of each line. I'm like, I only love my bed and my mom.
Oh yeah, that's Drake.
All. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh god, please stop. Or like, who the fuck? Sometimes lyrics get stuck in my head and I hate it. Somebody else wrote like, and the license plate said Black China or something. I don't fucking know. Honestly, like I shouldn't even be wasting time talking about this. God, I guess I know too much.
What the hell was that?
What the fuck was that?
And it sounds like a dinosaur or something. Jesus.
A hyena.
Yeah, but that sound completely threw me off. But the music, the substance, like there's no weight to whatever is being said. You know, again, like, you know, so you said trap music, you know, some hip hop here will have flow, and then you read the lyrics and it's like, oh shit, he's talking about some society, you know, problem or something. You know, there's a message that's way deeper than what it is. So I think it's in that case, what was I saying? In that case, you know, that's where we need those narratives, right? Yeah, that's where
we need to step in and be like, okay, we're gonna drop some truth right here and tell you what it really is.
Yeah, I think I read some book called the I forgot what it's called in Spanish.
Is there an ashtray? Oh,
yeah, right there. The Alchemist.
Oh, that's cute. It's like an owl or something. It's cute.
It is an owl, huh?
It's cute.
The Alchemist. I read it in Spanish. What is it called in Spanish? Oh fuck!
I forgot, but yeah, I know the book you're talking about.
And I read it in Spanish, and like the words are just so much more beautiful than they are in the English, and it's like, oh shit, this is some more. This is more romantic.
Yeah, and I feel like Spanish is more like refined. Like the words are kind of like they match more of the feeling than in English. I feel like English is so business-like.
Yeah.
Whenever I speak it, I feel like I have to be serious and I have to be like blah blah blah. I have to,
Yeah, I think it's into when you bring the outside cultures into the English. That
I'm like
turns the dialect.
Hogging it up. Sorry, here. I thought it was mine for a second. Yeah, somebody was like, pass it on. Thank you. My bad.
It's okay. You're the guest here. Yeah, that's what matters. As long as the guest is good.
I'm happy.
Instagram police.
Yeah.
Keeping the guest happy right here.
Where's it going? Oh yeah, well, since we're kind of like winding down here, what time? How much time? We got 25 minutes. I want to talk about some of the stuff I think I kind of mentioned. I was just listening to a bunch of stupid videos earlier about
Cuando no, I'm kidding.
about some abortion stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
People are gonna be either one way or another. The point is, we need to have a conversation about this.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't think that men should be deciding what to do. They don't know what the fuck goes on with our bodies.
Very true. Very, very true.
They don't know. They've said a lot of dumb things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh my god. Dude.
Yeah, there was I think part of some of the segment that I was watching was that in Alabama, there was I think it was a senator or the House Senate, whatever it is for the fucking state. They basically they passed a law saying that abortion is legal after a couple of certain amount of weeks. They pass it, and then somebody...
You said illegal or legal?
Illegal. It was illegal. Abortion is illegal, and prosecuted, you can go to jail, fucking death penalty.
Not the legal, but the doctors are, or is it...
And the doctors too.
The doctors too.
The doctors too will get prosecuted. So somebody came to kind of, in a fucking... in politics, you're going to have two sides, and one of them's always going to come in, tell you like, hey, we can change this and we can do that instead. Yeah. So like a representative came up and said, okay, you know what, if we pass this law, that's completely fine, but the catch is that while the woman is pregnant and after the baby is born, you provide first of all provide prenatal care, which is obviously the important part while you're in pregnancy, and after birth you'll have access to certain social programs. And what did they say? They said no. So at the end of it, it makes you question, like, is it really done because they care about the life that's being? Because obviously they only care about the life while it's in the process of being
I don't even
pregnant.
know if they really care about anything, really. I mean, like, I feel like if you don't care about humanity like that, I don't know why you're in politics. But then again, I mean, it's politics that we're talking about here. And, I mean, it's like... It just seems like we're going, like it's all going backwards because, I mean, we're talking about like the possibility of all these crimes being committed against women. Like you're just kind of opening that up. Like,
to make it seem like it's not normal, but it's people kind of just brush it off more because
like do rapes happen? Yes, rapes happen. Does incest happen? Do all this fucked up shit happen? Like all this crimes happen, and they act like well, if a woman gets pregnant, she's gonna have to have it. And it's like, no, there's certain things that are not right. That are like against nature and are against like it's evil. We shouldn't do it. Plain and simple. Just don't go there. Like we shouldn't go there. Yeah, and it seems like they want to go there, and it's like so fucking weird and evil.
I think at this point, it's because I think I would assume that they're, it's usually tends to be older white males.
This older generation is trying to hold on.
Yeah, they're trying to hold on to the last straws left of what is happening. Because they see there's a change going on in the culture, and where society is going, and they're just trying to keep those last straws of strength just fucking holding tight. But again, I don't think these things are gonna. Become for now, because Trump's here. and they're becoming. I mean, it's going to go to Superior Court, I think, in a couple of
That's the problem.
weeks. And
It's funny how we're like we don't think that's gonna happen, but then everybody was like, we don't think Trump is gonna get into office.
Fuck, yeah, I
and then
remember
that shit
day.
happened, and then we're like, fuck, he's still in office. How? But no, but I think there has to be a point where like things change, like things are gonna shift, and I don't think I'm optimistic. I'm more like, I know that the younger generations are like ahead of us, even like they're doing a lot more right now with social media, making a lot of things happen. So I have hope that things are going to be like drastically different when we're older. So
yeah, right, because of the newcomers coming.
Yeah,
I hope they. Yeah, I can see how they have a lot of influence in regards to where everything is going, and I think in those sense it's cool because they have access to that information. But it could get out of control if it's not like handled.
I do. There's another side of that too,
yeah.
because like there's a lot of confusion too right now, because kids are like they don't have like, they're not there's just it's like things are getting all mixed up right now, because like there's a lot of hate toward like our past heroes, because like, Cesar Chavez screamed at a woman once, so like he can't be respected anymore, or something like that. Like there's a lot of that happening, of like killing off our past heroes. And I think that's dangerous too, because like we can't expect everybody to be a saint. Like we can't really expect anybody to be a saint unless we're like
for anybody to think that they can uphold being a saint.
Like upholding these standards of like perfection and like no one can make a mistake or do this and do that. I think it is also dangerous. So I feel like the younger generations need to really like keep their eyes like I guess like on the prize, you would say, like keep their heads on their shoulders, and like keep stay down to earth and like stick to what's important, and like stop picking and he wasn't perfect, so fuck him, he was this, so fuck him, because like then you're gonna be left with nothing. And like so many people fought hard for our rights as Chicanos or like as mujeres, and we can't just like destroy all that.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they just smudge everything for everybody else, because it's hard.
No one can be a saint.
Yeah. No, that's for sure impossible.
I mean, even like the Catholic Church, like even the saints that they put in as saints were never saints.
No.
Like Junipero Serra, he was never a fucking saint. That fool was fucking trying to.
And I think that's when people need to worry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a saint once they, erased all the other details. Like. Yeah,
but for sure, I think since we have a lot of. You've heard of YouTube influencers, like or IG,
Instagram influencers,
YouTubers, all this stuff, and I think again it's easy. Like we were talking about, do it yourself. Like it's super easy to open up your own YouTube channel and start producing content and stuff, but it's really easy for those same people who want to spread specific messages out or just bullshit. For them to create something too, and then get the attention of something that's not maybe necessarily productive. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, it's difficult. You kind of have to pick and choose and make sure that you're deciding. You kind of have a good a basis of what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I think like the internet is really useful, and YouTube and social media is really useful. But I think you're gonna have to always have the element of like the organic element of talking to people in real life, building a community in real life, like just keeping that alive is more important than like, I feel, well, in my opinion, than like keeping your your YouTube influence game up, just like, I don't know, I just feel like people need to kind of come back to just talking to each other face to face. So
yeah, for sure. I mean that's why you try to do like FaceTime or like Instagram Live. And those times it tends to be more connecting, interactive with whoever you're talking to, because it brings that sense of reality instead of just like, somebody watching this video 2 weeks from now. Like they'll still listen, but it's not as interactive as you've seen what's unfolding.
And I mean, I feel like you're never gonna be able to get rid of like what's happening in real life in terms of like the impact that it's gonna have on you psychologically. Like things are more vivid like face to face than like on a computer screen. So like you're more likely to get somewhere with the one-on-one conversation than like screens.
Yeah, the screens. But you see, that's what the I think that a big problem of it too is just like the media, like what's being provided to the to the public, because it gets twisted. And I think that's where kind of like reading comes into terms. Like it's important. Because I don't really do it, but if somebody reads a bill banning most abortions becomes law in Ohio, that's kind of like, it's a set in stone sentence that kind of just lumps everything to what just happened, but it doesn't give context to what it really means. And people take it at face value, and you're like,
yeah, people need to read more than just headlines.
Yeah, because I think
oh man,
yeah, because people base their opinions on just what they're reading, by in passing, and that's what they hold, up as what is true and what is really going on. It's like, dude, there's a lot more. If you really
I think now because we grew up with the internet, we see how things have changed. Because I remember like the first website I ever went to, like when I first started using the internet, was like, I think I was like 12 when I first started using the internet because of my school. And I remember the first website I went to was like headbangerlyrics.net or something, and it had like lyrics of like Typo Negative and Nirvana and all, and all these bands and stuff. And I remember just going on the internet for information. I was looking for information, and like I would play Carmen Sandiego and whatever. I would do all that. And now I just like, even it's hard for me to like stay on the internet because there's so much information being thrown at you every single second.
It can be overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, and a lot of the stuff is just trying to get an emotional reaction out of you. It's not like leading you deeper into like a deeper knowledge. It's like making you more depressed, or it's like freaking you out, or it's making you numb. And like, I try to limit my time on the internet reading because it's just like, I get overwhelmed. Yeah. But sometimes I take a break and just read a real book and like, get more into like concepts, ideas, and not so much like emotional reactions, because like the internet is kind of like just keeping you addicted to these emotional reactions. Yeah,
especially like social media. You just gravitate towards, people. You're just refreshing your page, like, oh shit, what's going on now? What's going on now? And it's like you're not really consuming anything. You're just like, what's the word I'm looking? What's it when you scroll? Just no thing. Fucking computer.
Scanning?
Scanning. You're just basically scanning the fucking information. Yeah. And it's like, what are you really retaining, and how is that pushing you to do more? Because people like to push like, oh, you have to do better for the environment. But it's like, reading just an article is not going to make things better. People are still throwing their shit around, and that's just one point.
There's a lot of work that we still need to do. Yeah. As humans. Fucking humans.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but I think we're in we're heading towards a bigger evolution. I like to be optimistic too, so I think that we're just moving towards
you have to be because
you won't make it.
Yeah won't stay sane, that's for sure. Do you want the rest of this? I'm still holding on to it.
I'll take a little bit. I'll take a little bit.
I don't feel high at all.
What?
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's probably what I was provided.
Is it?
It's one of those, like
grass or jazz?
Yeah, no, really. What is it?
No, I don't know. I think it was just I think they gave it to me for free. I'm like, hey, you want this? So it's one of those, probably like the house ones.
Okay, that's good though, because I didn't want to be like super high while you were interviewing me, because then I tend to space out, and then that's not good.
Yeah, and I tend to forget things to like, what the fuck was I saying? So let me talk a little bit real quick about Ponte las Pilas before we finish this up.
Ponte las Pilas.
Ponte las Pilas. You basically gave me a breakdown earlier that it was like an umbrella for like a press
it's my
publisher.
Umbrella corporation. Yeah. Sorry, I had to throw a nerdy comment in there today. All right. So anyway, so Ponte las Pilas Press is like my press, my that I've been working on for a couple years since I started Dryland, and that's how I published Dryland. So I put it out through this press, and it's basically like a book design company. I mean, like it's basically what I do, search for talent to publish and design their books and things like that. So right now it's just been the literary journal that I've been putting out, all this work, and I want to go into just making books. Like if you want to write a novel, then I'll put that out if somebody wants to put out.
Okay.
So I have a couple people who are interested. I have like an artist who wants to do a book of his drawings, and then I have somebody else who wants to do poetry. So there is some interest there. I just need to like get my, I need to make a plan for myself.
Yeah, right.
And I there's a lot of work to do. It's not just like, hey, I'll spend $1,000 on this project, because I still have to, raise the funds for the book and stuff. So, but I would like to like start putting out like a couple books a year, not just a journal. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll POC people, just people that I know, people that I admire, and so I hope that maybe by next year I'll have another book out besides the literary journal. So
okay,
we'll see what happens.
But you already, like you said, you already have an idea of what's kind of going to be coming to your plate.
And then I would like I said, like a staff to, so I'm working on getting some grant money, and I still want to stay independent, so I'm not going to become a nonprofit, or I'm not going to be just, it's not going to be like charity work. It's going to be like its own independent thing. And I hope to get some grant money and, establish a little staff and, start training people and things like that. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm doing my best. So
yeah, I mean, you're still going, for it. So,
I know.
I
can't believe it's been 4 years. It just kind of flew by. Yeah. Like obsessions, man. They just kind of take you down, and you don't even realize it until.
Yeah, but I think it's really good that's out there, that you've provided a platform. Because again, I'm sure whoever tunes in, they'll be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I could finally submit that poem.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, you could take a picture of it and text it to me. You can write it and by hand and take a picture and send it, or you can just email me just one poem. It doesn't even have to be all serious. Like, I don't have anybody. You don't have to like tell me your whole life story or like your whole resume and then submit. You could just submit the poem. Just let it be free.
Okay.
So yeah, if any listeners out there, if you're interested in submitting any of your work, poetry, fiction, nonfiction, artwork, or if you're a journalist, I'm always looking for journalists to write articles and stuff. So just, go for it. I mean, you don't have to send me any information about who you are or anything. Just submit your work. You can go to drylandla.org, dryland.org.
Let's go to that real quick here.
Yeah. It has like the submission guidelines at the top. It's really straightforward. Right now we're close to submissions, but we're going to be open. What does it say, in August or September?
It says...
Or does it not say? Well, I'll fix it later. But we'll be open in the fall. So right now, if you send me something, I'm not going to read it, honestly. I'll probably just like ignore it.
Until the time comes.
Because I'm taking a break. I need a break también. Pero yeah, just read the submissions. If you want to rent out, the library is carrying my books too, so if you want to, sick. I know, I just saw
LA Library or
the LA Public Library.
Sick. That's pretty cool.
I barely, after a year, because I met like the head librarian and at the LA Zine Fest, because I was vending, and he came up to me and he just like was like all cool about it. He was like, hey, I just bought a copy of your journal. It's gonna be in the library.
He even did that face?
He did like some cool thing, and I was like, oh my god. My god. Yeah. Like I just kind of like went like, oh my god. Like it was like a cool moment. He was like being like totally like Fonzie and shit.
Fonzie. Hey.
This head librarian and shit. But he was like, yeah, it's gonna be in there. And I was like, cool.
I like how you do the fingers and you just pointed and you're like, hey, it's gonna be.
Yeah, so I took his word for it. And he said it was gonna be in he gave me a date. So I just kind of assumed it was in there, but I barely saw it the other day.
You walked in there and you just...
Well, a friend of mine checked it out, and I was like, what? Okay. And it was real, and I was excited, because now if you're poor, you don't need to give me your money. You can just rent it out. I'm sorry, guys, that I made you guys pay for it for so long. But, and now if you can't afford it, just read it, pick it up and read it. And
hey, that's enough to get somebody enticed into it and be like, hey, I'm going to tune into the next issue,
that'd be cool.
That's cool. So, I mean, again, you said Dryland. Where's it? Yeah,
Drylandla.org.
Okay, cool. So that's where they find the main stuff. If they want to get in contact with you? Is that through Instagram?
Yes, they can email me. I think my email address is on the website. I don't want to say it right now because I don't want spam. But
somewhere in here, right?
My Instagram is Anochka, which is Russian for little Anna.
What?
Yes.
Anochka.
Anochka. ANOTCHKA. Anochka. That's my personal one, and you can just like follow me there and
something like that. Oh wait, no, that's not it.
Or you can follow.
Oh, the fuck, Jesus
you can also
Christ.
follow Ponte Las Pilas Press.
Hey, Andre, come through.
I think it's Ponte Las Pilas Press.
Yeah, Ponte Las Pilas Press.
It's not as active as my personal one, but you can still follow and stay updated on things.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Anna, it's about that time.
Yes.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad that you're keeping it up, and this is dope.
Yeah.
Love it.
Show up.
Oh yeah. What?
That's what I meant.
Oh, there you go. Free stickers.
Oh, cool. Get a sticker. Awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, thanks again,
Super
people.
Mario. Super audio.
Yeah, copyright infringement. No.
Don't sue the guy, man. It's nice here.
But again, people, thank you guys for tuning in. As stated earlier, drylandla.org. And
the new issue will be coming out, so check it out when it does.
Sweet. We'll make sure to share it on Instagram.
Yes. Oh, and come to the reading. It's at Patria Coffee in Compton.
For when the issue releases?
Yeah, it's going to be July 12th, Friday.
Oh, all right, perfect.
So just follow us and find out.
All right, you guys heard it here. All right, Anna? Viva Padilla.
Oh, yeah, Viva.
Viva Padilla. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.